Moana 2 ended with an exciting ending that now we, the fans, are looking forward to the third movie. Moana is now a demigoddess. After successfully connecting the islands together and thus defeating Nalo, she had a huge problem and almost died. But later, because of her success, she now has superpowers. And this is just one of the things that should be highlighted in the upcoming movie. Matangi's return. Matangi appeared when Maui attacked her, but got defeated. Furthermore, his magic fishhook was separated from him so that he couldn't transform or use any kind of power. Matangi's chance to become free started here, and she made a plan to manipulate Moana to guide her to connect the islands together and thus defeat Nalo. Despite her allegiance to Nalo, Matangi has helped Moana by secretly planting clues and offering advice in disguise. She sang the song Get Lost, which pointed out weaknesses in Nalo's powers. But why would someone do that? Because Matangi's debt to Nalo is just an illusion. Although she serves externally as Nalo's enforcer, her desire for freedom motivates her to guide Moana, even if that includes betraying Nalo. After all, it doesn't seem unfair, because she was kept in such a place that it could easily trigger her to find any way to seek an exit. Thanks to her guidance, Moana actually succeeded, but until the post-credits scene, we didn't see any update about Matangi. In the post-credits scene, Matangi shows up in front of Nalo. She acts as if she doesn't know anything about how it was possible to defeat him. Although Nalo was pretty mad at her and even tied her hands, he wants to seek revenge. At this point, it is really unclear which side Matangi has taken. At first, she was a villain. Later, she guided Moana to Nalo. Now she shows up in front of Nalo. There are two ways this could go. The first is that Matangi will pretend to help Nalo while actually warning Moana and fighting on their side, because in the end, she doesn't want to be controlled by such an egotistical person. The second is that she will need to help Nalo and actually take part on his side to defeat Moana and her crew, because maybe that way she could achieve her freedom, granted by Nalo. At the end of the post-credit scene, we also see Tamatoa is back. As is already known from the first movie, Tamatoa is an obsessive hoarder who adorns himself with precious treasures, gold, artifacts, and anything that glitters. Moana and Maui had a very rough time when they tried to get the heart of Te Fiti back from him. In the second movie, we actually see that he lost all of his stuff. Maybe that's his motivation to join the revenge crew. Who knows? Gods and demigods. Now, considering all of this information, I just don't really understand why the other demigods and gods are not stopping Nalo from creating chaos and obtaining all the powers he could at maximum. Until now, we have seen different demigods and gods. We already know Maui and Moana. Then there is the ocean, the spirit of the sea, Te Fiti, the mother of the island, Te Ka, the demon of fire and earth. Then there are Matangi and Nalo. Although there are a lot of powerful and magical creatures, we haven't seen them interacting with each other, more specifically the gods. Since Moana's intentions are quite good, I don't think that the gods would hesitate to help and guide her to stop Nalo's destructive plans. We should definitely learn more information about gods and demigods. But what do you think? Moana's sister. Simea is very mature and courageous for her young age. As a toddler, she admires Moana's courage and independence and shows a deep emotional connection that goes beyond simple childlike attachment. Instead of throwing tantrums when Moana leaves, Simea tries to understand her sister's motives, even when they deeply upset her. She faces her fears, expresses her feelings honestly, and still finds the strength to support Moana's journey by providing a meaningful keepsake. After the first movie, Moana 2 came with a time skip at the beginning. Considering Simea's age, it is probably 3 years after Moana fixed the issue about the heart of Te Fiti. I don't see any problem if the third movie comes up with another time skip. That means she will be around 6 to 7 years old. That being said, Simea might start to feel the need to show herself or prove herself to her big sister, Moana. When the villains are gathered to take revenge, she might take part in the mission or maybe even secretly join Moana's crew. At some point in the movie, the villains might use Simea to threaten her to stop. Because Moana has always been successful in her missions, it is pretty obvious that the villains need more than just traps, not to mention that she's now a demigoddess who is stronger than before. Moana's new powers. In the second movie script, Moana's transformation into a demigoddess is attributed to her extraordinary heroism and selflessness during her mission to restore balance to the islands. Unlike Maui, who was endowed with powers by the gods as an infant after being abandoned, Moana's ascension to demigoddesshood is presented as a direct result of her courageous actions. If we take into account the fact that she was almost killed, we can better understand this. Choosing to confront the curse, she risked and ultimately sacrificed her own life to protect her people and heal the world around her. This selfless act of offering her life for the greater good earned her the admiration and appreciation of the divine powers. After Moana's shocking death, the gods recognized her sacrifice by resurrecting her as a demigoddess. When she returned to life, she received divine tattoos or textures on her body and a newly empowered oar. Now the question is, what might Moana's new superpowers be? Although Maui's demigod superpowers stem from the powers given by the gods without his contribution, they are pretty cool. Maui's demigod abilities demonstrate his divine power, shape-shifting, and longevity. Thanks to a magical fishing rod bestowed upon him by the gods, he can transform at will into creatures ranging from giant hawks to insects. This shape-shifting allows him to adapt to countless challenges, such as flying through stormy skies or swimming in the depths of the waves. In addition to shape-shifting, Maui is immortal. Maybe that's why we see him jumping into everything without any fear. Now we know that Moana's sacrifice was actually something very critical compared to Maui's, so her superpowers could also be more fascinating. Moana stands out as a voyager and a steadfast person. With her magic oar, she might be in contact with people far away. Furthermore, that oar would be unbreakable, and it can find Moana no matter where she is, and no one can stop it. That means there is no chance that Moana will lose contact with her loved ones when she is far away, particularly on a mission. The people of the other island. At the end of the movie, when Moana returned to the island and later hugged her little sister Simea, we came across a little surprise. The people of the other island started coming to Motunui. In the next few minutes, we see them getting used to island life and celebrating the ceremony together. I hope we can discover more about these new inhabitants in the next movie. Furthermore, Moana's crew can get larger and they can fight against Nalo. Also, the next time, it will probably be easier for them to find the way, because Moana's magic oar shows the way as we saw at the end. And you guys, what do you think might happen in the next Moana movie, which is said to be in production? What might be Nalo's plan? Also, is Matangi a villain or not? Let me know in the comments. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and comment your ideas down below. See you in the next one. Take care!